I can't help but dance while that music is going. It's such a great way to start the day. And I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever and whenever you are. Welcome to Creator Toolbox. My name is Chuck Tomasi, and this is the program where we give you exactly what the title says. We give you tools for your toolbox on the ServiceNow platform and ideas and concepts, and we take you through what we're thinking and how did we get there. And we have a great use case today. But before we jump into that, let's do some introductions. As I said, my name is Chuck Tomasi, Senior Developer Advocate, been at the company for 13 years. Let's see, ABC, D. Yeah, D in hex. Sorry. Gone out the deep end. There was no coffee this morning, so I don't drink coffee anyway.
I was about to say, I was like, is that a trick question?
Trick question, yeah. How many cups of coffee does Chuck have every day? None. Enough about me. Let's talk to this man right over here. He's the guest.
Hi, everyone. I'm Fern, and I'm a platform architect with ServiceNow, or the Impact Platform Architect. And I've been with the company now around 9 months, been in the ServiceNow ecosystem for about 6 or 7 years, and glad to be on the show with you all.
And down below.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. My name is Lauren McManaman. I am also a Senior Developer Advocate on the same team as Chuck and Earl and Pranav. Very excited to be here. I just had my 6-year anniversary at ServiceNow a couple of months ago, so not as impressive as Chuck or Fern, but on my way.
6 is also 6 in hex, so it's easy to count.
True. Before we dive into today's topic, Chuck, would you like to go through the various contests and windows of opportunity, or I've got them on a quick sticky note if you'd like.
You know what? I can never remember the dates because there's so many things happening right now. We've got Hacktoberfest going on right now. This is October. We've got Hacktoberfest, devlink.sn/Hacktoberfest. I'm just going to rely on Lauren for the date information. We also have coming up the applicant entries for the Devies. That's our App of the Year contest where you get to showcase what you've built and potentially win some awesome prizes and whatnot. Winners will be announced at our next Knowledge Conference in May as part of our CreatorCon event inside of Knowledge. We've also got, let's see, when is the Devies? It's
hey, I was like, the dates for the dates for the Devies are October 20th through November 15th.
That's it.
So it starts next week.
And then just inside of that, if I remember right, it starts a little later but ends a little earlier, is the call for content for CreatorCon. Same event, same thing, but start thinking about those topics, get them in. We've got a webinar what is it, Wednesday? Tomorrow?
It's Thursday.
Thursday,
I believe.
Thursday, the 12th. Okay, yes. I can still do this. Thursday, the 12th, we have how you want to, if you've got an idea and you're not sure, or you've done some work and you want to craft that into ideas. We've got a webinar by people who have been selected in the past, have done successful presentations. Really, all you need at this point is a title and an abstract to get our attention and go, hey, that sounds intriguing. And if you need help with that, we've got some open office hours during that call for content period, which is?
It is October 23rd through November 13th.
See, I was right.
There's one more.
There's one more. Wait, let me think of it. We did the Devies. We did Hacktoberfest. We did
Call for content.
I
will say the next one ends very soon. So there's only 3 days left of #BuildWithRPA. So that is a social media initiative that we started a couple months ago to encourage the community to learn about the RPA product and demonstrate what they've learned through a series of labs and things like that. So that will be ending on October 13th. So you only have a few days left. If you participate, you get a great shirt. So if your ServiceNow wardrobe is lacking, that is an opportunity to populate it a bit.
People in the chat can keep track of this stuff better than I can. My mind is like squarely focused on the upcoming world forums and the developer meetups around those. So check social media if you want to know more about that. There's a lot of stuff coming. I'm laser focused on a demo that I'm going to give 4 times.
Oh my goodness.
It's a bit crazy. And all the games of Jeopardy that we're going to play. Lots of stuff. It's just this firestorm full of activity right now, and we hope you are a part of, maybe not part of the firestorm. What's up? Cornucopia. That's more of an autumnal theme.
Yes.
Grab a fruit. Yeah, enough of the advertisements. Let's get into the topic. That's why we brought Fern here, because Fern showed me a demo a little while ago and I went, that's really cool. I think it will resonate with our developers. Great use case. Kind of makes you think about what we can do with some of this generative AI stuff and just get the creative juices going and we'll peel back the layers and understand how it was done. So Fern, over to you.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Hopefully this will go smoothly. We're going to share our Chrome tab.
And Lauren will pop that up as soon as it's sharing.
Yes.
All right. I think it's sharing already.
Woohoo!
All right. The hard part is over. Okay. So to begin, again, just to explain a little bit how we got here. So I'm an impact platform architect, and a lot of people may not know what impact is, but it's just something that we provide to our ServiceNow customers, through a SKU. And pretty much we're here to help you, accelerate value in your instances, whether it's, first time you're doing something or the opportunity to do something better, or sometimes an in-state review, right? You leverage your impact team to kind of help you use ServiceNow resources. We have a lot of talent internally, and kind of just help you figure out where you want to go, at a pace that fits your scale. So that's kind of how this came across. We had a customer, it was a state and local customer that their use case was they want to do notification systems, right? But think about traditional notification systems, right? We all get emails, we all get text messages, you get push notifications. There's no real, I guess it's not really personalized in a way. You can't really have real-time interaction or a notification. You can't ask questions. You really can't engage with what's being sent to you. And that's kind of the way this solution was derived. So kind of show them, hey, you can do it with the platform if you kind of think about modeling something like this. So some of the things to consider, right? It has to scale in the sense whether you're notifying one person or 1,000 people, you have to be able to do it simultaneously, right? I can't notify Lauren and then 10 minutes later notify Chuck. So it has to be something where we can just execute, from, let's say, a list of records, and everybody's gonna get notified with the information as relevant. So think about, again, state government use case. Hey, we're having a flood warning. Everybody get inside, or whatever it is that the states want to communicate. That's a very important phone call. You may want to get to your phone. So to continue here, full disclaimer, I built this before generative AI was available on my instance. But just to let you know, with the Vancouver release, you do have generative AI built in. You can use it in a number of ways. I suggest you take time and look into it. It's pretty cool now that I've been playing with it, and it definitely would have made my life a lot easier had I built this, a month later, I would say. But just putting that out there. So this,
when that happens, you work really hard on something that it comes out on the platform. Right? Oh,
yes.
And the
So
one that comes out on the platform is usually better because they had time to engineer it and architect it, and lots of developers to build it. So always ask if something is on the roadmap, if it may be coming. If you start building something that's kind of persnickety, I did have a customer years ago. Quick story. We were building a demand management system, and I believe it was Ryan Fraser at the time was the BU or the product lead on that. And he said, we are actually building our own, and it will be out in like the next release. So 6 months away. Well, this customer was already 2 releases behind, so they wouldn't see it for 18 to 24 months. And they said, that's fine. We're going to build our own quick and dirty solution now. So that's what we were brought in to do. So have that understanding and be able to weigh the cost versus benefit versus risk analysis that everybody should do as they're building a bespoke solution.
all right, you hit it on the spot. So quick and dirty is what I went with, just to show them what they can do with the platform instead of going out.
I will
trying,
say, before diving in, could you zoom in on your screen a couple of times, please?
Oh, absolutely. Let me know. I have no problem here. I believe that's wrong key there. Is that
Perfect.
better?
Yep.
Much better.
All right. Hopefully everything else perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So
that one too.
We're gonna, you know what? Let's do something here. Let's make my window smaller, and that should account for. How's that look?
That works too.
That works.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I just have this big 4K monitor, and people always tell me on calls like, "Hey, man, we don't have our glasses on." So I'm like, "Oh, it's me." All right. So before I get into the solution, how it was built, let me show you kind of just a typical, incident breakdown that you would probably have. Everything's pre-built just because I didn't want to take time on the actual stream for you guys, just to give you, value on your time. How this all put together. This is a standard incident, right? You have our caller, we have our information, we have our short description, right? The important part of focus here is look at everything else that's going on in this incident, right? We attached a KB article to it, which is ironically how to survive a robotic takeover. And we also have an outage record. So the whole premises of this is, all right, there's a major incident, right? Let's assume you have a class A server type of situation that's down. It's just down. You create an incident. Once your team attaches, what's the procedure in this situation to notify our end users, or what is the company policy on it? You attach the knowledge and you create the outage. Once you create the outage, and then I'm going to show you the backend now, it's just a flow that's listening to the outages. And once an outage hits a major trigger, for example, in my case is it's a major incident with an outage record, it goes ahead and places the outbound call. But just kind of understand people how this is not pulling everything from one record. It's pulling not only from the main record, but it's pulling information from the associated records to it. So think about how much data you could feed here, right? We could have technically 3 knowledge-based articles feeding it all different type of data. And you're going to see on the demo, everything goes smoothly, right? Disclaimer, a lot of funny things happen. You'll be able to interact with that data in real time over a phone call. So that's the incident. Let me show you the outage record. There's nothing fancy. It's just an outage number. You have your message, right? Which is ServiceNow, Skynet have joined forces, right? And you have your KB, which is what we're gonna, if the user, you're gonna see if the user inquires on what to do, it's gonna go ahead and provide that information to them, right? So that's the front end. The back end is, and I didn't have this ready, but let's go ahead and open up the action so I can show you all.
Yeah, we're looking under the hood.
Yes, and I wasn't, hold on, I think it's this one, VIP call API. No, it's this one. I've been working on a lot of different use cases, right? Again, there's no magic here. Again, you have a trigger that's listening for major incident state. It's accepted, right? You want it to be a major MIM. It looks up the record, looks up applied knowledge, and here's where the magic happens. So in this case, I'll have to make this a little bit bigger just to make it friendly. But as you can see, I'll show you how the action was built, but it's an AI phone call. We feed it the phone number of the caller, yes, and the name of the caller. And then we're at that point, it's just, it's pretty easy. You're just doing ChatGPT prompts. You're building that personality. You're sending that data over, and hoping that ChatGPT, Whisper, and I'll get more into the solution, they handle that for you. So as you can see, you introduce yourself as Sarah, an incident manager at Cyberdyne Technologies. You're reaching out right here. This is very important, right? We're personalizing the message now. Hey, you know what, Mr. Fred Luddy, I want to let you know we're having an issue with a system. It may not seem like a big deal programmatically for most users, but personalization is hot. Think about how many times you're talking to somebody. You call somebody by their name. You sit there and you personalize it, and they love it. So not a big deal programmatically, but big deal when it comes to value, in my opinion. All right, and then from there, then state, right, the outage message. Ask them if they have any questions. Disclaimer, this works sometimes, but other than that, you see, here's where I start adding value to my prompt. So here's where it gets interesting. Only if they ask what should I do, you'll be informing them as per company policy. If they ask what's called the issue, let them know about the incident information, right? So you could technically continue adding lines and lines and lines and sending over all the data you want, hoping that that the AI has a real-time conversation with the user, right? So I'm going to provide it all the data. So let's look at the action, right? Because the action is a bit where most of the tech stuff happens.
You want to know a shortcut? Go back to the subflow.
Sure.
Go back to the subflow.
Okay. Oh, no.
That's all you had. Yeah, go back to that over on the right-hand side. You see the 4 icons? That one.
Yeah, that one?
Yep.
Look at that. Learning every day.
I used that a lot last week when I was building out a spoke. It's like,
So
test the
FYI,
flow.
guys.
What? There's an error. Let me go look.
I learned everything I had to learn when it came to JavaScript from Chuck. Like Chuck's been my idol since I started scripting on the platform and building business rules way before Flow Designer came out. I have to be honest, Flow Designer changed my life.
Yeah.
So so back to the action. So we see we're feeding it, right? Phone number, name, the prompt, the incident
Mhm.
description, who it's assigned to. I'm not using a lot of these fields in this example, but one of my other use cases was that so I'm doing something with on-cost scheduling. Uh, there's a lot of money lost when it comes to an organization when you have a major outage and you have to get everybody on the phone and kind of troubleshoot the issue. By the time you know the service desk creates the incident, reaches out to whoever's on call for server A, they get the conference room going. You've lost around 20-25 minutes. Some companies are losing $400,000 an hour. Being down 20-25 minutes, you're costing it's costing the company almost 100,000. So one of the things that, and I'm sorry to get sidetracked, but one of the things I'm working on is, well, if you have a major incident to a CI, that's a critical CI, and this critical CI needs to be rebooted. Well, guess what? On the phone, we're going to call the on-call engineer. We're going to reach out and say, hey, Chuck, server A is down. Based on 70 based on our analytics, 70% of the time, this is resolved by a server reboot. Chuck can go ahead and say, go ahead and reboot the server. AI now takes that information, because the beautiful thing about the solution is we can bring back information from the conversation. So whatever they say on a call, they say, hey, I want to speak to a manager, or hey, this is not acceptable. We can bring that into a flow. We parse it. It's just a JSON. We parse it and we can trigger other actions from it. In this case, back to the example, was if Chuck says, hey, I need you to reboot that server, we go ahead and have Flow Designer execute a reboot process on that CI, I don't know, via PowerShell from the mid server. So just start thinking about that. There's so many use cases this applies. I literally picked one of the easiest ones to demo. So we're there. Let's head over to the post. The post is so might as well cover this now. So originally I had a bunch of Dockers and GitHub scripts running on my desktop to be able to do this. Because of the opportunity to present to you all, I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to go in front of all these people. I need to give them an enterprise solution. I found this company called, again, Bland AI, which provides, they're SOC compliant and HIPAA compliant. And pretty much I'm using their API to do the telephony that I was doing before via this whole mess I had on my desktop, which wouldn't scale well. But pretty much you just feed them all the information. They chat GPT it for you. They place the outbound calls, take the data, send it back to you. Very convenient and enterprise friendly. So I want to put that out there.
This is not an ad.
No,
Sorry, what was that?
No advertisement.
I'm kidding. This is not an ad, just to make sure.
No, it's the only people I could find. I suggest everybody always do your research, take a look at the company, make sure you have your BAAs in place. This is just, again, I'm using dummy data, so I don't have the same risk as a big organization does. So always keep that in mind. Big disclaimer.
Totally.
And that's it. We're sending over a header, which obviously I'm gonna have to change after the stream, right? My token, we're sending over the request data, the phone number, and the prompt, and it's nothing crazy, right? And let's go ahead and demo it, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself out of existence here. So again, because of all the records and everything that we're adding here, I'm gonna go ahead and use the test function from within Flow Designer, but realistically, you would insert the records, you would create the relationships, and then once it's accepted as a major incident, it would trigger. So keep that in mind. I am taking a shortcut. So let's go back to Flow Designer. Now we're done here. Let's see. All right, we're gonna hit test, and I'm gonna select the outage record, which is this one. Where's my phone? All right. Make sure you have your safety goggles on hand. You never know, something can go wrong. Safety first, Chuck taught me. And let's do this. Let me remove my phone from do not disturb.
That's pretty funny. We should start thinking about doing that, Lauren.
Yes.
Have some goggles when we do demos.
I grew up with Bill Nye the Science Guy. He was always like, hey, safety first. All right, we're gonna run this. When I hit run, it's gonna take a little bit. I should get a phone call, and it's gonna pretty much tell us in this order, right? It's gonna tell us what the outage is about. Then I'm gonna inquire about what caused the outage. Should return some of this information. And then I'm gonna ask it, hey, what should I do? And it should tell me the robotic takeover policy. All right, here we go.
My policy is to wave an Isaac Asimov book in front of him and remind him of the 3 laws of robotics.
Here we go. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sarah, and we have an important announcement to make. Hello, this is Sarah, an incident manager at Cyberdyne Technologies. ServiceNow and Skynet have joined forces, and as a result, there may be some service degradation or issues. I'm reaching out personally to Fred Luddy to inform you that, sir, please be on the lookout for notifications.
Oh, we're having.
Skynet have joined forces.
Let's give that another run. It seems like it's one more time here. Sorry about that, guys.
This is October, so we're getting it really scary for Halloween right now.
So just to reiterate for the audience, what just happened? Because we weren't on camera when that started. So what just happened?
So so what happened was on my end, sorry, the outbound call place, sometimes when there's noise, it kind of it interrupts itself and it tries to listen to what you're saying, so it kind of throws everything off. So it's almost like it's the hardest part about AI is trying to have a two-way conversation sometimes, because it doesn't know when sentences end, right? Think about when you're having a conversation with people, how many times you interrupt each other, even as humans, and we are evolved creatures, right? We still have a hard time determining, hey, is this person done talking? Can I jump in here? So what happened there was
no protocol to say end of packet or something.
Yes. So what happened there when the call kicked off?
Wait, what caused the call to kick off? What caused the call to kick off?
Oh, the flow action. When I hit run test,
yes,
it go ahead and places the outbound via API, right? So I lost the on Flow Designer. It places the outbound API call with all the information we're sending over from ServiceNow. And then from there, the AI picks it up and just calls us.
Perfect.
Did that answer the question, or did I miss it?
Most flows are going to be triggered by something, in this case, a record.
Oh, correct.
But
well, I'm triggering it manually.
We're not going to spend the time to create the record, satisfy those conditions, blah, blah, blah. Flow Designer has a test button that says, skip the trigger. I'm just going to run the actions based on what you give me as the record for input. So it makes it very easy to test. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Correct. You see, so I am, if you notice here, my trigger, if I were building the record, would be task number, major incident status accepted, right? And there's an outage on the CMDB CI outage table. So that would be my trigger. But to bypass that whole relationship I would have to build just to save time on the call, I'm triggering by just hitting the test and picking the record that I wanted to test.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Here we go. Let's hope. See here.
I love this comment. Well, we're really never been excited and scared at the same time.
Hello?
Manager at Cyberdyne Technologies. I'm reaching out personally to Fred Luddy to inform you that ServiceNow and Skynet have joined forces. As a result, services may be degraded or not working. Please be on the lookout for future notifications. Do you have any questions?
What caused the issue?
Platform architects pushed an update set out last night, and now ServiceNow platform has become self-aware and started watching the Terminator movies.
What should I do?
As per company policy, please follow these steps. And then step 1, initiate evacuation. When you see those metal heads roaming around, don't just stand there. Initiate evacuation procedures immediately. And no, you can't stop to grab your lunch from the fridge. And then step 2, find a safe hideout. Once you're out, find a safe place to hide.
So that's
safe from AI.
Just to save time. That's pretty much it, right? So what we did there is we fed it information. We can ask questions regarding that data. And because ChatGPT and OpenAI is so powerful, right? I'm not sure if everybody's too experienced with that. You can feed ChatGPT a bunch of data and you can start asking questions about it. All I did was take that solution and add a voice to it. It's not state of the art, but it's a really cool use case.
Really cool use case.
And if you think about it, though, when you asked, what can I do? That came from the knowledge base article that's related to this outage record, correct?
Correct.
So think about this, people. You've got all this related information that could contribute to this conversation. This goes beyond what you would find in like a traditional chatbot. A, we're not typing. B, we're having an immediate conversation. There's something, I don't know, a little more personal and scary about hearing a phone telling you that ServiceNow and Cyberdyne have joined forces and become sentient. I love this demo. This is one of my favorites.
And that's it. And just, think about the possibilities there. This is a very simple demo, but think about one of the things again, and we can't, I can't, preach for it, right? Because we haven't tested it, but think about in a hospital setting, think about, how much time is lost between your doctor. When you run, I don't know if you're all familiar with running blood work, but you run your blood work, the
That's what my
results
daughter
go
does for a living. She runs the blood work.
by the time your doctor gets back to you, it's a day or two with your results. What if we could insert a record into ServiceNow, right? ServiceNow is a HIPAA compliant platform, FYI, but whatever solution you use, you insert a record with those lab results, and AI goes out and calls that person, and now that person can have a conversation with their lab results. Think about it like, ChatGPT. You could ask along the lines, hey, what does it mean that I have high blood pressure? ChatGPT can go ahead and provide an answer based on either a knowledge base or which using generative AI. So the use cases are phenomenal here. Just you got to kind of tailor it to your industry.
It's so much more responsive than what is the reality of most cell phone situations now, where you call and you have to navigate through a million menus, most of which aren't even relevant to you. So at least this automatically confines the data to things that are relevant to you. Like the only thing I could add at the current moment that would improve this would be a statement that says, give the robot a minute or a second to respond, because I'm thinking about like people like my dad that will be like, hello, are you there? The second that there's a beat of silence, that's the only thing I would change. That's more on him than the system.
That was one of the hardest parts, right? Navigating a conversation as a human is easy. Now we're teaching, I like to call AI a child. Now we're teaching a child to navigate those conversations, but it's never had a conversation before.
Exactly. So for this to be the first big wave of this, the sophistication it already presents is so amazing and so helpful.
Good stuff. Anything else you want to add in there, Fern?
Nothing at all. I mean, do we have any questions? Anything? I'm here to answer. I'm available.
Just a lot of cheering. People are really excited and really impressed by your demo. So huge congrats to you on that one. Great show.
Yeah, be sure to bring this along to Knowledge and CreatorCon. I'm sure a lot of people will want to have a conversation.
Yes, I'm hoping that I could have the CMDB integration where we're going to offer you real-time troubleshooting based on our predictive. We have predictive learning on our platform. What if I told you 70% of your issues for this server were resolved by taking X action? Well, the AI is going to ask you, do you want me to take X action? You say yes, we execute the flow to take care of that action, and we report back if the server's back online or not. That's the big picture in my eye. A lot of CMDB work.
We rebooted your cable modem. I already rebooted my cable modem twice. Escalate the call. Sorry, it gets a little personal after a while. Well, good stuff. Lauren, any final reminders?
Everything we covered at the beginning, I'll run through them really, really quickly. You have 3 days left on Bill with RPA. Hacktoberfest is already kicked off and ends at the end of October. The Devies kick off next week on the 20th and end on November 15th. And the call for content opens up on October 23rd and ends November 13th. So those are all good dates to add to your various calendars.
Thank you so much, Fern. And thank you, Lauren, for all the help. And thank you, viewer, for watching. We look forward to seeing you again real soon on the next Creator Toolbox. Join us. Take care, everybody. Bye.